Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I do have a Cash App as well for those, because a few people have asked about that. All those links are down in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I can. Now, funny enough, I got the request for this, and then not too long after, Vinegar Syndrome announced they were releasing a 4K of this, which I did pre-order. Then part of me was like, maybe I'll wait for that, but no, that would be like waiting a whole month after the request. That would not be fair to Jonathan. So I'll do the commentary now. For Congo, of course, as the title gave you a bit of a hint of what the movie was. And I know it's a bit dark. It's 3:30 p.m. and this is how dark it is, and this is with a little light on here, so that's Texas for you. And I could turn the light on, but it'd be even hotter. But pause at the beginning. Let's get into it without further ado. Thank you once again, Jonathan, for your kindness. I really do appreciate it. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. From the Paramount logo, we are about 9 seconds in, and for a film that I think is a bit underrated as a popcorn adventure movie, I've always liked this film. I never thought it was that bad. I never thought it was horrible. Never thought it was terrible. If people disliked it to each their own, I just don't see how it's that bad. I really don't. It has a good cast. It's a very solid special effects. Has a beautiful score by Jared Goldsmith. Has some great locations. It's a fun jungle safari adventure movie. It has some intense moments. People getting their brains bashed in and stuff. Like Jurassic Park. I would say this has a spiritual sequel to Jurassic Park. Yeah, I think Jared Goldsmith, who's a great composer, did the first 3 Rambo films, Star Trek the Motion Picture, underrated films like Runaway and Leviathan. I think he did another bang-up job with the score to this. Of course, because it's based on a Michael Crichton novel, people assumed it would be as big of a hit as Jurassic Park, which not a lot of films are, or at least at the time were. And when I've never read the Michael Crichton novel, I've heard about it, I've looked up some bits and pieces of it. It sounds like they kept a lot of the story of the novel in this. So I don't... Maybe this added more humor. Maybe that was the issue people had with it. But, again, I guess people who are really into the novel, they'll know more what they disliked about this movie. I never read the novel, so I don't have that mentality. So, of course, the plot of this here, we have the first expedition, which is going to go haywire. And few recognizable people in this, including Bruce Campbell, which apparently he was up for the lead role that Dylan Walsh got. Well, I say lead, one of the leads. Now, I thought Dylan Walsh does fine. We're going to see him in quite a few minutes. But I liked Dylan Walsh. He did fine. But I think Bruce Campbell would have been the better choice, because I think he would have brought a bit more charm. Because I consider this a B movie, a fun B movie. It was a Rudy. And for some reason that always stuck in my head. I don't know why, the way he said Rudy. I know I've said that before and randomly. But because we have Laura Linney here talking. I think she's a good actress. And I thought that She's a very capable actress. I thought she was one of the better parts of the film. Laura Linney's been a lot of stuff. She did a great job in The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. She was good in The Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere. It was always cool to see Laura Linney in a film, and I thought she did a good job in this. And of course, you have Bruce Campbell, like I mentioned, from the Evil Dead films. He was in Maniac Cop 1 and 2. Like I said, I think while Dylan Walsh does fine, Bruce Campbell, I see, he would have brought a bit of that charm, that adventure B-movie charm to his performance. I would think he would have had a little bit more personality. And it's a shame that he didn't get to be... I mean, it would not have changed the box office. It might have changed the public perception as a cult film because Bruce Campbell has a cult audience, and if he got to be the star of the film, he got to be throughout the entire film, then maybe at least as a cult, it's like, hey, he got to star in a big budget movie, and he would have been given more time and more moments to really showcase his talent. Maybe they could say, okay, he could do a little bit of humor and maybe tell a joke here and there. Like, as much as I enjoy the film, I think Dylan Walsh and Bruce Campbell should have been switched. Again, I think if Bruce Campbell was the lead, to repeat one last time, he would have brought that adventure charm. Granted, he's playing a different type of role, more serious, but I think he would have had a bit more presence than Dylan Walsh. And again, it's not trying to knock Dylan Walsh. It's just, if you ask me, my preference is Bruce Campbell. So, but he got this part, which he's not going to be in it too long, and which I see why he would do the film. It's like, oh, this is a big budget studio film. He gets to be in the first, 10 minutes of the movie. Lavish production. It's going to be seen by a lot of eyes. Or at least potentially. And this is the other thing. I liked how unexpectedly violent this film gets. Like the first Jurassic Park. We have Joe Don Baker. That's the other thing. You look at the supporting cast. It's very talented. You got Joe Don Baker, who's in Walking Tall, among various other films. The original Walking Tall. Joel Pantoliano shows up later on, who was in The Goonies, would later be in The Matrix. Delroy Lindo shows up. Tim Curry. Of course, Ernie Hudson. This is type of unexpectedly violent. You got a damn eyeball right here. Definitely gave a good scream. So I like that there's a little tad of a horror film element. I didn't. You say like the first Jurassic Park had that as well. Like when Laura Dern finds the arm of Sam Jackson, and then it's a disembodied arm, you find out, or the lawyer gets eaten. Here they pan, they see like these bloody bodies. I'm like, okay, that's a nice way to start the film. Look at that. That's some nice little bloody aftermath there. At least for this kind of film. Thermal. Maybe we'll find the predator. Don't worry, it's just Cannibal Holocaust. course, you're always going to have the asshole-ish boss that cares about greed and money, the corporation. Like a lot of the, I mean, hell, going back to the Alien and the company. You know, Bert and Aliens. The lawyer and such in Jurassic Park. And more so, Wayne Knight. You didn't say the magic word. And I said, I thought Laura Linney, she was strong, she was capable, she didn't put up any gruff. She becomes a badass at the end, getting the damn laser sawing off, well, lasering off arms and butt in half and bloody chunks. Damn, Laura Linney's becomes a badass in this. I don't think she's bad in the film. Has a clear goal opening. You don't find the diamonds. She wants to see if someone she cares about is alive. And that's a nice setup for the end. I'll make you sorry, which just that big ass diamond drops it off. I would have faked it and kept it in my pocket and then sell and get rich. Taco Bell product placement. Taco Bell sucks. I never liked Taco Bell. I was disgusting as hell. Now Doom, on the other hand, I love the nod to Doom. Wonder how that came into play to have Doom in there, the video game. Granted, this did get a couple video games. There was one, I don't know if it was actually released for like Super Nintendo or something. There was one released, I want to say, for Sega Saturn, but never had a Sega Saturn. Well, I thought Dylan Walsh still did a fine job. I'm not trying to knock his performance. I would say Dylan Walsh definitely probably showcased a bit more vulnerability. Now, I know this is the thing that people really hate and get mad about is Amy the Gorilla. They don't like Amy the Gorilla. They don't like the device that she uses for sign language, but gives her a voice. I think that in the novel it was just sign language, but they added this here. I don't know why, like, this video, like, what they show for a demonstration kind of sold me on it, with this actor doing sign language and you hear his voice. You know, this is the first time I've heard my voice. I thought that guy did a nice job in his tiny role. Now these two are recognizable in the audience. The lady on the left is Mary Ellen Trainor, I believe is her name. You'll recognize her. She was the newscaster in Die Hard. She was also the psychiatrist in Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and I think she came back for 4. I think, sadly, she's passed away. But yeah, she was in Die Hard as a newscaster and psychiatrist Lethal Weapon. Then the guy on the right is Stuart Pinkin, I believe is the name. He was in the director's first movie, director Arachnophobia, as the sheriff. Yeah, this guy on the right. Also, if you hear his voice, if it sounds familiar, he was the voice of the lead dinosaur, Earl, in Dinosaurs. If you remember that live-action TV show, sitcom. That had, like, the most depressing ending ever, where they all froze to death. This gorilla is talking. But yeah, Stuart painting. It took me a while. Like, oh yeah, it is Earl from Dinosaurs. But yeah, Ratophobia, which the director Frank Marshall, he's only directed like 4 films, and none of them I hate. Eratophobia is my favorite. I love that film. The killer spider stuff. I think it's effective. Like having all those actual real spiders stirring around everywhere and gives me the creeps because I hate spiders. And it's got some fun humor. Jeff Daniels and John Goodman are great in it. Underrated film, Arachnophobia. Then he did Alive, which I thought was a pretty decent survival story about the soccer team, or I'm sorry, football team trapped in the mountains. Ethan Hawke was in the cast. I thought that was, again, a pretty decent movie. Then he did this one, which I really enjoy, and then he did the Paul Walker with the snow dogs, 8 Below, which I thought was okay. I didn't hate it. I mean, it's my least favorite of 4, but I didn't hate 8 Below. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, Frank Marshall, I thought he was a capable director. And, like I said, oh, speak to the guy on the left here. That's another recognizable guy. I'm bad with names. He was in, of course, The Return of the Living Dead. Him and Tom Matthews. Yeah, at the beginning, it's like, you ever see Night of the Living Dead? Yeah, that ton thing. He was also in Poltergeist, the original, where Creighton Nelson's yelling at him, going, "You didn't move the headstones! You didn't move the headstones! Why? Why?" But James Karen, I wanted to get his name. Great actor. But yeah, James Karen on the left there, in the original Poltergeist, who did move the headstones, and in Return of the Living Dead, he was also in the sequel as well. That's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of nice, recognizable people that pop up. Like, we had Joe Don Bader, there's James Karen, there's Stuart Pankin. Even this guy here in the back right now, I recognize him. He was in True Lies. He was part of Arnold's team. I remember in the third act, when Arnold's getting the jet, he's a guy who's worked with Arnold, but he's the guy with the camera, but he's got the gun in it. He's like, whoa. And I even liked him. Let me get his... So I'm bad with names. Let me get his name. Grant Heslov? Yeah, Grant Heslov is his name. Let me see. I think that was Peter Jason. I think that was Peter Jason, who been a lot of stuff, including John Carpenter stuff. But yeah, Grant Heslov. He was in The Black Sheep with Chris Farley, Dante's Peak, Enemy of the State. Sorry about the clearing of the voice. Now, again, I know a lot of people have a problem with Amy the Gorilla. I never had an issue with it. I thought Stan Winston's and his group did a fantastic job on the effects, on the practicality of the effects. Tim Curry, I like his... he's not a good guy, but he's kind of like a fun guy to watch. As I'm talking about, it's always great to see Tim Curry in there, talented guy from Clue, Legend, Stephen King's It. It's always fun to see him, and as part of a cast. National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, Wilderness Girls. I thought, Stan Winston's effects are very stellar on this. Compared to the countless films that use over-the-top CGI, like that Tarzan movie, Legend of Tarzan, where everything was CG. Countless other films that have CG animals of all sorts. Rise of the Planet of the Apes, when that film came out, you want to say that looked great, that looked realistic, that looked like a real animal in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, or any of them, those new ones of the Planet of the Apes movies were supposed to be gorillas. Do they look more real than this? If so, I don't understand. Like, this is an actual physical thing. That stuff is to be video game. See, Dylan Walsh, I think he was in the TV show Nip Tuck, which I never saw. He was in the Stepfather remake, which is a horrible remake. I mean, I guess maybe within connection with the novel, like the novel was deadly serious, perhaps, maybe. And, scenes like this probably biffed them and made them mad. I didn't need the burp, I'll admit that. I'm not going to say this is a 5 out of 5 perfect movie. I just don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Didn't need the burp. Oh, hey, the kids. Yeah, the same kids that don't see all the head bash and all the other stuff. The same kids that saw the eyeball, bloody eyeball at the beginning. But what's trying to do is that Jurassic Park where you had the humor with like Jeff Goldblum's character. And that's one big pile of shit. Which it did. I mean, it did have a big pile of crap featured in the movie. It's sad that the Vendor Syndrome release, it doesn't seem like it features any interviews with the cast. It seems like there's a book, there's a 50-minute documentary on the effects, which will be cool to watch. There's a commentary, but it's like from historians, and I don't know, I'm 50-50 on those. If they spend the whole time trashing the movie, then it's like, well, I don't really care to listen to, because I actually liked the movie. And like little things like teasers, trailers, making it from back to the day. It's just that I don't even know if I have the. I think I used to have the film on Blu-ray. I think it's gone or damaged or something. And it'd be nice to see in better picture quality and such. Because I do think it's a good-looking film. So to see how it looks in 4K, like remastered, just to see remastered, even if I just watched the Blu-ray, would be nice to see. Here's Joey Pants, Joe Pantoliano. Which for some reason, like, he's uncredited, and I think Delroy Lindo's I don't know how that all works when to be on. Like, what's the point of being uncredited? But he's not in it for a lot. But he's a fun character. He's a guy you definitely could tell has had a lot of life experience. I think he even says "fuck if I know," like in this in this genre picture. But yeah, Joe, another great character actor, Joe Pantoliano. So he's dropped the F bomb right there. Dropping the curses all around. You had the F bomb, now a bunch of, hell if I know. Looks like this place turned to shit. Of course, once Joey Pants shows up, all the curses allowed. And then, I mean, I think when I first saw this, I thought it was going to be like wall to wall, them dealing with the killer apes. And I didn't realize it was going to take, so long to get to that. But in retrospect, I liked it because it does feel like a full adventure. There's like a variety of things happening where it's the military, where they're getting shot down, they gotta shoot missiles from the sky. There's all sorts of stuff like hippos and other obstacles. And Ernie Hudson's a badass. And I was saying, like, with the features, like, there's no cast interviewed. It's surprising because I guarantee you Ernie Hudson would have said yes. Because I swear he's gone on record to say that this is his most favorite role he's ever done. Which makes sense. He got to be a leader. He didn't get killed off. He could be funny. He kicks ass. Again, from what I've heard, this is his favorite role. So the fact they didn't get him interviewed is strange to me. I would assume he was never asked. But Ernie Hudson's great. I mean, loved him, Leviathan. Gone, bitch, we're still here. Great in, Ghostbusters 1 and 2, for what little he had to do in those. The Crow. And that's one of the many things I liked about it, is the cast. I'm a great white hunter, but happen to be black. See, like, Ernie Hudson, I think, out of all of them, kind of plays the best in, like, knowing what kind of film they are, what kind of film they're in. Whereas, like, a little twinkle in his eye. Like I said, I like the whole cast, but Ernie Hudson has a little bit of that humorous flavor to it and little gleam. And that's the thing with like Dylan, like Ernie Hudson, Laura Linney, to be of such like maybe that was the point, is that the two of them are much strong personalities. So like Dylan Walsh comes off as kind of the beta of the three. But I still think you could have managed it maybe even a bit better with Bruce Campbell. But like I said, it goes at a fast pace. I like the cast involved. Kept me intrigued to see what was going to happen. It has some fun lines like, "This is pure Kafka. What does Kafka tell me?" It's pure Kafka. Who's Kafka? Tell me. Kafka was a writer that dealt with like dystopian, things are going up the creek, so to speak. So some people may not get who that is, but I guess I thought it was a pretty funny line. And of course, Delroy Lindo, who's done a lot of stuff throughout the years. He was in Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. He was in Ransom with Mel Gibson. That's the thing, like every couple is like they bring in Joe Bretiliano and he does a fun job. They bring in Delroy Lindo, he does a fun job. That's what it was cool to see. Like these James Cameron, like cool to see all these actors pop in and flourish things, spice things up. I think Delroy Lindo, this could have been like a boring exposition. Okay, we gotta go from point A to B. But Delroy Lindo, like, and what they give him, they gives a bit of an entertaining flavor to it. Shoot for it at least a year. Stop eating my sesame cake. I'll be eating my sesame cake. I'm sorry, I'm just listening. Big bit of shit. Like, come on, Delroy, like Tim Curry working with each other as entertaining characters, sleazebags of different sorts. Well, Laura Linney, again, she's not a blank slate. Like, she elbows a guy, then she has a little smirk on her face. But she's being natural in her performance, natural in her abilities. In a way, like Ernie Hudson and Laura Linney, like, blow Dylan Walsh out of the water. That's why I think if you had like someone like Bruce Campbell, I know I'm harping on it. Last time I'll say it. I think Bruce Campbell would have stood toe to toe with these two. And you have a good day. Yeah, have a nice day. Nah, sad we don't ever see him again. But like I said, it had a very they pop up, be entertaining, and we move on with the story. I know Roger Ebert was one of the few that gave this a positive review and said it was a ode to films we don't really get to see at that point. The jungle adventure film, which is true. Now, I think Michael Crichton wrote the novel. I think for a while he wanted to do it, but one of the conditions is he wanted a real gorilla as Amy, and people said that's a bit too unruly to have a real gorilla for the things that need to be done. Time went on, and then he moved on. I mean, hell, this is better than like the Jungle Cruise with The Rock and Emily Blunt. Now, this guy here, which I cannot pronounce his name, who's friends with Ernie Hudson, this guy's been in a lot of stuff. He was Killer Croc in that first Suicide Squad film. He played Killer Croc, and he's appeared in a couple other films throughout the years. Oh, that was another thing. One of the inspirations for this, apparently, for Michael Crichton was to perhaps Teen Solomon's Mines type of story. But I'm also sure the studio, they by the time this finally came to production, it's okay. Jurassic Park was a hit. This is based on a Michael Crichton novel. Also, the adventure aspect, maybe have a little bit of Raiders of the Lost Ark. Or again, Michael Crichton maybe would say Teen Solomon's Mines. The story from back in the day. Which had, in itself, has had a couple adaptations. Including... there's a good moment with Ernie Hudson. Think nothing of it. Again, just this strong, like, badass character Ernie Hudson plays. Oh, there's Joe Pantoliano. So he does come back. This is the last time we see him. But, Teen Solomon's Mines, there was the one I always think of is the one in the 80s by Canon Films with Richard Chamberlain and Sharon Stone. You had Teen Solomon's Mines, which is a lot of fun. Then you had the sequel, Alan Quartermain, The Lost City of Gold. And actually, now that I think about it, Teen Solomon's Mines was also Jerry Goldsmith. Another great score from Mr. Goldsmith. Yeah, I miss Jerry Goldsmith, my favorite composer. Like I say, he did the first 3 Rambo films. He did Runaway, Leviathan, Star Trek the Motion Picture, Air Force One. He did a lot of great stuff. So, again, very sad that he's passed away. But, again, he did a nice job with this as well. I know there's a Teen Solomon's Mines, I think with Patrick Swayze, but from what I heard, that comes off as fairly low budget and not as much action as you hope. Like, now we have the scene with the missiles, and I thought this was kind of a cool bit where you gotta use the flares to divert the missiles. Now, I think one of the pilots there is Jimmy Buffett. I could be wrong, but I think that may be the case. Yeah, get the hell out of our way. Again, and then they say, oh, when they got into the new woke era, there's never been strong female characters. What about Laura Linney here? Look, taking action. Think about it. It's a woman and a black guy taking the lead, but you same folks that want to praise this stuff when they do it in movies nowadays, they did in this. But you know what they didn't? They weren't sending a message. They weren't trying to hammer a message to you. They weren't saying white men suck. They weren't saying all this other DEI progressive bullshit. It was just part of the story. But these woke individuals who, well, this film's good because it starred a woman. Well, how's the story? How is it as an entertainment? How is it? Is it fun? Is it fast paced? Is the action well done? Is the dialogue funny? Intentionally. They don't look at that. They go, well, it stars someone who's black or stars someone who's a woman. But then this, Laura Linney or Hudson really are the stars, and you don't want to give any amount of credit. You just want to mock it, or we want to do all this other stuff. It just, people get on the high horse. And I would say this, again, doesn't push a message, doesn't put it in your face. It's progressive without winking every 5 minutes. And in my opinion, it's an entertaining movie with fun characters, with personalities, that goes at a fast pace, that has some decent bits of action, some good special effects, a capable score, old school filmmaking that they don't do nowadays. Because so many films are just wall-to-wall CG, everything's in a damn green screen on a stage. Even this bits with the skydiving are cool to see. Like, those are some pretty cool stunts there. Real people. Real people skydiving off of planes. Never been on a parachute, but it would freak me the hell out because I would always have to be that what do I call that pessimistic, paranoid dude that I'm gonna be the one that's gonna pull the damn thing, and I'm gonna be the one where it fucking doesn't shoot out and I'm the one who falls to the ground and dead. Mine's gonna be the one that just doesn't work. I'm gonna have that bad luck and be paranoid about it. I tell you, I smile each time Ernie Hudson's on screen because I think he's an underrated actor, and there's not a whole lot of movies he got to be like a big part of. I mean, in this way, like I said, Ghostbusters he's most famous for, but he doesn't pop in until much later in the film, and he's good in it, but I've seen shit that'll turn you white. The Crow, he's good as the police officer, and even as the bad guy, the substitute with Tom Berenger, he did a good job in that. But yeah, just like to see him have quite a bit to do as sort of with Laura Linney, the main hero of the picture. I would say he's more like it's Laura Linney and Ernie Hudson's movie, not so much Dylan Walsh. Again, people always want to promote progressive nature. Granted, I think there's a lot more that needs to make a film work than just that. And even if it doesn't have that, a film could work as it has 1,000 times. And if it does have it, doesn't automatically make it bad. Just have an entertaining film. But again, it's just funny, like Danny Glover's in Predator 2. Again, Ernie Hudson, Laura Linney in this, and then... But then they want to make this lie later that movies never have this. And movies are too racist. And movies are too white male dominant. I'm like, motherfucker, there's plenty of films. Long Tis Goodnight. Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson. But these are the films that you say... Not you. This is for the segment of people that complain about that nowadays. Movies are too white. Movies are too white male dominated. If you're one of those people and you didn't support stuff like this and The Long Tis Goodnight and Predator 2, for those people, not for people who don't like the film, if you don't like the film, to each their own. It's not against those people. Or you saw the film later and it wasn't a cup of tea. To each their own. We all have different opinions, different tastes. But the people who the only thing they give an A+ to for a film is if it's diverse and if it's blah blah blah, and you're this older group that's like, oh, I'm now so much more progressive. And that group, if then you watch these and you go, I watched that back in the day, I didn't support it, I didn't give it at the box office, I said it was a piece of shit. Fuck you, you hypocritical prick. You say all... In that group, you say all you need is to be diverse and not have, but Predator 2 did it, this film did it, Long Tis Goodnight did it, and you didn't want to say anything, you didn't want to do anything. And honestly, those three films are much better in terms of entertainment, action set pieces, effects, filmmaking, cast, compared to a lot of crap today. And that's why I don't think this film is that bad at all. Especially compared to a lot of the crap that comes out today. Madam Web, You Serious, Megalopolis, Joker 2. Are you serious? If you hear that, my body's ready to convulse and constipate from it. Great, you fucked up her equipment. Good job, asshole. It's your fault. You fucked up. You fucked up bad. How dare you fuck up, you asshole. You son of a bitch. She probably could kick his ass. I would buy it. Now, the film cost $50 million. And it made $80 million in the U.S. Over $150 million worldwide. So, maybe it made with video, some profit, maybe. But... they were expecting Jurassic Park, or at least close to it. And they didn't get close to it. So, that on top of the poor reviews where it got a 23% of Rotten Tomatoes. Although I didn't, Roger Ebert liked it, which I appreciate. Roger Ebert, I disagree with a lot of things. His thoughts on The Hitcher, the original, Die Hard. Giving Speed 2 a thumbs up. Actually, they got 2 thumbs up with Siskel and Ebert. So there's stuff I disagree with him on. But Roger Ebert, there are times I've watched, oh wow. I think they gave 2 thumbs up to Rambo for Split Part 2. I think Roger Ebert gave a thumbs up to The Golden Child. Gave a thumbs up to Leviathan. Like sometimes there are moments, Congo, The Relic got 2 thumbs up. Metro with Eddie Murphy got 2 thumbs up. So there are times I did become pleasantly surprised, Okay. So that's why I may disagree with Roger Ebert, but I don't hate Roger Ebert. He's like, hey, we have some stuff in common. There you go. Like I said, I can't pronounce that guy's name. Adewale. He was Lochnan, The Mummy Returns. He was in The Bourne Identity. He was heavy duty in G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. He was in Thor, The Dark World. He's been on Game of Thrones. Trying to see. Yeah, Congo the movie, The Lost City of Zinj, was released for Sega Saturn. A different game for Super Nintendo and Genesis, but was canceled. Yeah, there was another game for PC, which was Congo the movie, Descent into Zinj. Oh, it's a tick. I like Ernie Hudson's reaction. Leech, that's what it is. It's your leech, you take it off. Okay, it's a leech. Take it off. What do I take it off? It's your leech, you take it off. But yeah, this got the Golden Razzie nominations for Worst Screenplay, Worst Picture, Worst Director, Worst New Star, Worst Supporting Actress Amy the Talking Gorilla, Worst Supporting Actor Tim Curry. I'm sitting there going, I mean, it didn't win, but it got nominated. I'm sitting there going, really? Really? Let me look. Like, what was, if I could, I'm blocked. I should have luggage on my head. I'm trying to see if I didn't, So the 5 nominees for Worst Picture, these are films in 1995, is Showgirls, which won, Congo, It's Pat, The Star Letter, and Waterworld. Okay, Waterworld isn't that bad. Congo's not that bad. To compare those two to films like It's Pat is ridiculous. And let me look up 1995 films. Like, okay, this is those are the 5 worst films. I mean, if they're nominated for the worst 5 of the year, you're saying those are the worst 5 films. I mean, let's look at films of 1995. Demon Knight is fun. That's a good movie. In the Mouth of Madness, some say 94, but technically came out in the US in 95. That's a great movie. The Dirty Boys, the movie, I think is way worse than this movie. Billy Madison's fun. Quick and the Dead, I don't mind. Heavyweights, I haven't seen in forever. I like The Mangler. Hideaway, I don't hate, but I think that's worse than this. Hideaway. Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, I would say, is worse than this. Outbreak, I enjoy. Major Pain is a lot of fun. Tank Girl, I don't mind, but I would say I like Congo more. Tommy Boy's fun. Bad Boys is fun. Jury Duty is a lot worse than this, which is funny because they nominated Pauly Shore, or he won, Worst Actor. But Jury Duty is not a worse movie than this. Now that guy looks familiar. Is that who I think it is? As Bob? What about Bob? It is, okay. That's John Hawkes, the guy who's dying. If you remember from Dusk Till Dawn, after this, he owned the shop that I didn't tell him nothing. Quentin Tarantino wounds him. They have the shootout. That guy got on fire, got killed. That's John Hawkes, so I knew he looked familiar. Dude, if you've seen the opening from Dusk Till Dawn, you definitely know that guy. But yeah, 1995 films. Friday's a great movie. Crimson Tide, I don't mind. Die with a Vengeance is great. My favorite of 95. Tales from the Hood is good. I would say Giant Mnemonic is worse than this. Batman Forever I don't hate, but I like this film more than Batman Forever. Judge Dredd, I think is worse than this. First Die I remember being worse than this. Species I like. Let's see. Babe is a good film. Bushwhacked I think is worse than this. Virtuosity, underrated film. Mortal Kombat is a great one. Desperado is great. Lord of Illusions is fun. Don't Mind the Prophecy. A lot of good films in 95. Hackers I like. Seven is great. Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, I think is way worse than this. Paul Rudd looking like a dumbass. Stopping Michael Myers with magic stones. That's the thing, there's people who like Halloween 6, and that's... Michael Myers fucks his niece and gets her pregnant. So this Thorn group can sacrifice her, the baby, and... You're like, what the fuck is this plot? But then this is too much of a story? Damn, people, we all just have different tastes, man. It's just how it is. Like, I know the guys at Dip It don't like Congo, but they like Halloween 6. I'm the reverse. We agree to disagree. We agree to disagree. But, we can have fun making fun of each other, because that's what friends do. They didn't make fun of me for Congo. I'll make fun of them for Halloween 6 or... Paul Rudd having magic stones and freezing Michael Myers while Paul was like, like, you laughing or are you scared? But again, we all have differing tastes. I know, again, I agree with Uncle Bill on this. He's like, oh, Tim Curry's, overacting. I'm like, Lawn Lays with Nicolas Cage? That's pretty overacting. I would say Nick Cage overacts more than Tim Curry does in this, in my opinion. I do find it refreshing, though, that they could have easily made it where Tim Curry screws them over and almost gets them killed, like Burke from Aliens. Like we've seen quite a few of these type of films, where there's going to be a human antagonist, and then he's screwing up their equipment, he's trying to get stuff so that some of them would get killed, so he could get away and get the diamonds, or have the diamonds for himself, and all sorts of stuff. But they don't ever make him do that. It's just he's a bit greedy, and sadly, he too greedy for his own good, collecting all the diamonds when he should have been worried about his own ass. But you know, it is what it is. I think this is where the hippo comes into play, at least pretty soon. Which, I mean, is a good effect by Stan Winston's company. And their hippos are very dangerous. Like, people don't realize just how dangerous hippos can be. Like, you look up the info. Doesn't like hippos cause the most? When you think of deadly African wildlife, you might perhaps assume lions took the top spot. Hippos kill many more people, causing an estimated 500 deaths annually, as compared to only 22 for lions. So if lions get 22, hippos bagged 500. Who knew? No wonder they're called hungry hippos. Probably for reasons like this. Like in hippos, you don't mess with, buddy. And when you get to the third act, the gorillas are killing people left and right. Like in Jurassic Park, dinosaurs do kill a couple people, yeah. I mean, they kill Wayne Knight. They kill Sam Jackson. Off screen, you find his arm. Kill that hunter, clever girl. The lawyer. But I would argue this has a much bigger body count. And also it feels more brutal. I know you don't see anything, but the idea of like Tim Curry's bleeding and screaming, the idea like smash. Now, granted, you don't see a head getting smashed, but the cut is done where your mind fills in a blank of something that doesn't actually occur. So it makes it feel like you saw something violent. It was a good piece of editing and sound design. And then Ernie Hudson's buddy just tossed around. Even I thought Dylan Walsh's buddy, who's I'm not saying comedic relief, but has some comedic moments. Even he gets killed. Even he dies. Which I will say one critique is, Amy never feels sorry. I mean, this guy's helping you out too. I just Amy only did care about this guy, Dylan Walsh. Only cared about him. Because the other guy dies and Amy don't give a shit. that looked like an actual fog. I say that because I just did a commentary for the original The Fog movie, and I kept thinking about the remake with all the damn digital crap in it. And how, the real stuff just looks so much better and so much better on film because you can't get more real than real. Oh, this is the other team that Joe Don Baker sent. Is this where the... Yeah. I mean, that, shows a bit of Laura Linney's terror for other people, not just her own. Like, oh, what a waste of life. Joe Don Baker's greed. Among other stuff. I'm laughing because where Ernie Hudson's at. Where are you? I ran away. Say, fuck you, punk. He ain't worth shit. I run away. And yeah, if I'm being fair, the other gorillas that you see, those three, you tell is a little bit, especially that one on the right, that'd be like over here. Well, damn it, the poster's in the way. Okay, imagine this is the stream my face. It'd be like over here on the right. The third guy of the Three Stooges. You tell its face was a bit stiff, wasn't too expressive. And maybe it's one of those that they didn't want to put too much into it because it wasn't going to be in the shot for too long. But I mean, could there have been improvements made? Sure. And I say that because, as much as I enjoy the film, I'll have nitpicks here and there, like a ton of other films I love. Predator 2, I talked about how much I love that. I could say the nitpick is when the Predator's fighting Danny Glover at the end in the ship, there's a moment where you see its point of view, and it makes it look like he's got the mask on, the visor on with the heat vision when it's off. That's not how it should look. So that's a little bit of a mistake they made. No sign of the bodies because they ate them. Which is true because you find all the bones later on. I mean, what else they don't do with it? Well, I guess unless they eat flesh-scented sex dolls. I'm laughing because for some reason, when the guy's cutting with the machete, Predator popped in my head, whereas Billy Sonny Landham finds the skinned, upside down people. So like any second now is going to reveal the body. Was that Billy spooked? Billy, find my way out of this hole. Bob says we're cut off. One waist down her broke dead dog. I was like, we don't got no choice. Kill me, I'm here, kill me. Do it now. What are you doing? It's bullshit to live it. The cabinet ministers, guys, do your dirty work. Come on, Dylan. I thought you were someone to trust. Sorry, I'm just going Predator now. But I like that they're shooting and stuff that just doesn't feel like one giant green screen. Which a lot of, not all, not all, but there's a lot of movies today that does feel that way. Hell, Expendables 4, there's a damn scene where Stallone and Jason Statham are talking in a doorway and there's a house, but it's like they're on a green screen where it's like, oh, everything behind Jason's a green screen, or what, or vice versa. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Sorry, I'm looking at the time. Okay, I got it. Damn nose itching. I'm not picking my nose, I'm just itching. Damn allergies. But maybe just I'm a sucker for these adventure type of movies. Going back to the day of watching Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love the Indiana Jones films, the first 4. I did not like the 5th one for many reasons. Like, that to me is more of a fucking joke than this movie. Firewalk with Chuck Norris I enjoy. Teen Solomon's Mines with Richard Chamberlain I enjoyed. Doesn't mean I like every movie that's a jungle setting adventure. No. The Jungle Cruise with The Rock I thought was lame. I think I did see that one, The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. It was, I don't know, forgettable. Don't think I hated it, but it's like a forgettable version of Romancing the Stone. And Romancing the Stone, I mean, that's a decent movie. I wouldn't say I love Romancing the Stone, but I think it's a decent film. But, like I say, they don't really make a lot of adventure. Just understandably so. They feel it wouldn't sell to an audience of today. Would an audience of today care about that kind of story? That kind of action adventure? I don't know. I mean, The Rundown in a way is that. In the early 2000s, that's a fun film. I like The Rundown. I think it's the best film The Rock has been in. But anyway, that's just me. But yeah, I like those adventures, you know, for the most part, those jungle adventure stories. Again, this remind me of Firewalker and Indiana Jones and things of that nature. Going to the forbidden jungle and what secrets await, and the cast works well. I like this look Laura Linney gives right there, which I know that was used in the trailers. Now that I said that, I'm not going alone in there either. It's like, I'm not going there by myself. See, again, Ernie Hudson is such a likable character in this, like, with that sense of humor and like saying stuff that I actually see myself saying. Like, I'm not going in there by myself. I think this is where Grant Heslov's character is going to get killed. Just that he like runs in screaming and bleeding and stuff, and we might get the first action piece in the against the gorillas. Which I think there's a bit of shaky cam, which I wish there was a bit less of, but I think they did hit. There's bullet squibs, see blood flying around. Which you didn't see that in Jurassic Park. See, I like that exchange where, what's your name? Claude. Claude, yeah, that's a weird name for, where are you from? Mombasa. Oh, that's a weird name. That's an unusual name for someone from Mombasa. You ever been there? No. What the hell would you know? Oh, there you go. Like, oh shit. Again, Amy, I just never cared about this guy, this schmuck, this, not the actor, just the character, this poor schmuck. I don't want to say schmuck because I don't think he was that bad of a character. I thought he was likable enough. I thought he had some fun lines, some ones that made me sincerely laugh. It's just that this poor guy, where he joins this to help this gorilla, and for a gorilla that never gave a shit about him and never cared about him, doesn't do any, like, the gorilla will later on jump in to save Dylan Walsh and stand up for him, but never once felt or thought of that guy. Here he comes. Which is weird. Well, I guess not weird. Like, he seems fine, but all of a sudden, boom. Up there you go. Yeah, tossing heads and stuff. Yeah, that slow-mo thing. That is not the shaky cam. I knew it was something like that slow-mo. Which I don't know why they did that. I don't know why I thought it was shaky. That's the thing. I forgot about that weird smear slow mo. I think that looked a bit ugly. I don't think that needed to be a case there. So yeah, I thought that was a bit ugly. They just chill. You get the hell out of Dodge is what you need to do. There you go. Gear up. That's right. So we need gear up all the ammo you can. This is coming up to be one of my favorite scenes, the laser sensor scene. So you didn't see as much squibs in that scene, but I know you do see them eventually, some nice blood squibs. I'm like, damn, I forgot how bloody this film can be. Would have been nice if there was at least one moment where she at least gave a hint of a shit about the guy who died. I mean, I guess you say there's not a whole lot of time to discuss or lament about lost friends, but even Dylan Walsh didn't really get to say a whole lot about his friend dying. Oh, he's not on screen anymore, just who cares? Kind of reminds you of the Sentry stuff in Aliens, the extended cut. Although I probably saw this first before I saw the extended version of Aliens. The testing the perimeter. There you go. Yeah, it's the third act where they save that app, because if they show too much, it'd be rated R. Which part of me wishes was just an R-rated venture. But they'd be like, oh, we got made it PG-13 because Jurassic Park was PG-13, and the idea is PG-13 would be more successful. But I kind of wish they just went with the full R-rated version of this. But then if they did, would they have the budget to... Yeah, that's the catch-22 is... Well, you can make your R-rated, but you'll have to have a lower budget. I thought that was a nice piece of score for Jerry Goldsmith to get that sort of serious tone. Again, Ernie Hudson, take charge, just complete badass. Taking charge, this is the type of leader you want. See, again, if this was rated R, I guarantee you in that scene you would see a lot more of like squibs. But they do show some in the third act. It's been a while since I've seen this, I will admit. There's been a while, so I've gotten a few little things wrong. Because, I mean, there's so many films trying to be in this brain, and it's hard to remember things perfectly. I apologize, but... But yeah, I like this kind of... Because a little bit of like an action horror film with these gorillas being tearing, throwing disembodied heads and leaving bloody mangled remains, and later bashes Tim Curry's. I did as much as you did with PG-13, of course, but still. I was kind of surprised with some of the stuff they did get away, considering how the MPA could be such pansies in this time period. Like when the dinosaurs, you never really saw them get shot. Do you think about it? I mean, the raptor, like, you didn't really see any dinosaurs get killed except, I guess at the end when the T-Rex, kills some of the raptors, because mostly the humans kind of being chased. You know, they're being chased by this, being chased by that. That dickhead. Maybe it was a fart. Damn. Because obviously we're getting to the third act of the film where we don't get to the final confrontation. Then you have the lava sequence as well. Yeah, this is where we're going to get to the final spot. Well, one of the final spots here. Yeah, they don't find the diamonds. And back there in that little cave is where we don't find Bruce Campbell. A big old diamond. Yeah, now they're coming out of the woodwork. And maybe that's another reason why I like this film, because like bits like this reminds me a bit of Aliens. Or like a lot of the movies, you know. The indefinite amount of creatures or whatever come out of the woodwork while a small spanner of heroes with some weaponry have to defend themselves. Why Tim Curry try to run off by himself, I don't know. But his greed just gets a bit of his comeuppance. That's it. You see how ridiculous like the Khan, Godzilla vs Khan, New Empire and stuff looks. But then this looks so awful apparently. Ooh, right in the back. There's blood right on the mouth. So you got some blood squibs there. And we're going to say goodbye to Tim Curry. Now, granted, you technically don't see anything, but the way this is edited, I thought was... Ooh. Made it seem like he's got his head smashed. Look, blood squibs there. I mean... I remember being surprised at seeing this kind of stuff. Just people getting taken out left and right. And Ernie Hudson just taking these out however he can. I think there's one that like jumps at him and Ernie blows the shit out of it. Couldn't do anything to help him out. Yeah, I think here. There you go. Double tap that bitch. Exactly. There's Bruce. Well, there you go. If you don't like Bruce Campbell, you want to see him get killed off, here you go. Damn, all coming out of the woodwork. All crumbling down. There you go, Dylan. Shoot something. Blood flying everywhere. Chunks. Chunks just flew everywhere. Shit. Oh shit. Dude, Ernie Hudson's trying. And we gotta give Amy a bit of a heroic moment, of course. Now, if they had Amy like beating the shit out and crushing skulls, that'd be, something else. That's pretty bad. Took out a hand. Damn. 3 pieces of the biscuit. Tore that one right in half. Damn. Laura, there you go. Like Ellen Ripley, she's a fucking badass. But I believe it. It's not... She's doing cartwheels and flip kicks and parkour shit. She's not doing that stupid shit. Now that lava, I believe, is not CGI. It's this is a model work. Which you can tell, like the way the lava moves. It's like a natural movement. It's just shooting plates and putting this to that environment, putting them together. Which I think makes it much more tolerable to look at, to view, especially as an audience member. Yeah, get the hell out of there. Big leap and jump, come on. Ooh. Yeah, and sort of, fun adventure aspect where, you gotta jump to something in the nick of time, and of course these gotta be crumbling down, so then you barely escape, that type of stuff. That's a hell of a weapon she has. I want one of those. That was cool, like seeing this first. Oh man, she's got a laser gun, laser weapon, just being a total badass. I'm down for that. Yeah, I like the model work being used. It's not just everything on a damn computer. A lot of physical stuff happening, a lot of physical stuff being implemented into it that make the scene more believable. And there you go. This is where Joe Don Bader's going to... Well, I mean, let's face it, she already knew his true colors, but the guy just had to... Just couldn't help it. Well, we'll see in a bit. Again, it would have been nice if Dylan Walsh like took a moment to be like, hey, you know what? I wish he had not come with me. Was it worth it bringing Amy home because, you know, this guy died? When if you kept Amy there, she may be been a little less happy, but, you know, your buddy would be alive. Like, at least a little bit of that kind of dialogue. A little bit. At least here, she... Like, Laura Linney tells about the death of Bruce Campbell's character, and then she's horrified that, you know, Joe Don Bader didn't give a shit, and you lied to me. I'm going to teach you a lesson. That I liked. I thought Laura Linney did a good job. Her tone of voice, her eyes, made it natural. Did you piss me off? I told you. I thought she sold it. She wasn't too over the top. You tell she cared about Bruce Campbell's... That's crazy. Like, Bruce Campbell is in this a lot less than Brent Heslov, and she actually has a sense of caring that guy died, and Dylan Walsh... him and Amy didn't give a shit that the guy died. At least not a whole lot. This one's for you, Charles. Bye, 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 bye. Goodbye, satellite. Shit happens. Grad, you think, okay, I'm going to sue her ass or get her arrested as soon as she gets back to the States. I would think. But I guess it's like, so you're saying I shot a laser gun to a satellite in space? Well, actually, it was the little device she had, not the, you know. Still a shot of laser in space. In another world, it'd be like, I'm leaving your ass, I'm dumping you, I'm going with this guy. To Amy, this guy's more of a hunter than you, Dylan Walsh. No more Monty Pole for you. Or I guess Monty for JJ for you. Sorry, Dylan, no more Monty Poontang for you. Yeah, it'd be one hell of a loser. You'd get dumped by a gorilla. So that's what the movie's about. A guy being dumped by his gorilla girlfriend. That was the whole point of it all. He got dumped by his gorilla girlfriend. Shit happens. Goodbye, bitch. Yeah, we gotta get the higher, dude. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. You need to do it. Never been in a hot air balloon either. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm scared of heights, but I'd definitely be, again, not want to look down too much. And hopefully not get vertigo. See, if I was Ernie Hudson, I'd be like, wait, 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 wait. Grab it and, hey, I got you both back alive. It's a job well done. See, again, I think that would have been funny if Ernie Hudson stopped it. No, 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 don't throw that diamond away. Hey, hey, hey. I could do something with this. That, I think, would have gotten a laugh out of the audience. And then people would be like, hell, I wouldn't throw the diamond away. I would not have. Fuck throwing the diamond away. I would have kept. She should have kept it to find a new place to live because she goes back to the States. Joe Don Baker's don't have her ass arrested or sued or something. She needs that diamond to afford the lawyers. Or get out of jail or get out of attempted getting in jail. I mean, she's probably not going to find a job. Who do you work for? Let me call your old employer. That bitch fucked up my whole satellite, my whole company. Doesn't screwing up that satellite just put like 20,000 workers? Didn't it say like Joe Don Baker had like 20,000 workers under him? Are they now out of a job? Like, do they have a business since they have no satellite? So are they all fired? Did Laura? Is that the moral of the matter? Laura Linney just got 20,000 people jobless. I mean, I'm just asking. Maybe there's something else to it. Yeah, much more to it. But Laura Linney got 20,000 people unemployed, and Dylan Walsh got dumped by his girlfriend Gorilla. And Ernie Hudson is just glad he survived. It's like the last time I was in one of these type of movies, I died in Leviathan, so I at least survive here. As much as I love Leviathan, that's the one thing. He should have lived in Leviathan. He should have lived. Because I liked his character so much, but I love that movie, regardless. This is a fun film. It does have its flaws. I'm not going to say it's perfect, 5 out of 5. But I think it's entertaining escapism. It's a fun B movie with some decently violent parts, some pretty decent special effects. Nice score by Jerry Goldsmith. Good cast, especially some fun supporting cast members. And overall, like I said, I still enjoy it to this day. Still had fun watching it again. So with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.